Okay, here we go. 9-7 suited, under the gun. I like to raise these types of hands sometimes from an early position. Um, I'll probably fire one, maybe two if the button folds. So I only try to ever really bet an amount that I think can get folds and not really more than that. So I'm pretty much done with the hand. Alright, 3-bet there. It's easy fold. Add chips. That guy's got it, obviously. I guess since this is zone and it goes pretty fast, I'll just refer the tables as 1 and 2 from left to right. So when I talk about hands and things like that in the moment, I guess I'll just refer to 1 and 2. So what we'll see here is I'm not going to really ever call anything. It's going to be pretty rare unless I have position on guys. Even then, I think it's better to 3-bet if you're going to play the hand, because you just always want to have the hammer. Keep the aggression. So pre-dry flop, 3 queen 7. Another queen, that's probably a good card for us. I'll bet it again. See what he does. I suspect he has a hand that's not a queen. So bet one more time. I want to get value from hands that I beat. And yeah, that's too bad. I don't think he's ever bluffing there. So let it go. And a 3-bet the tens. Nothing going on table 2. Yeah, we'll call. Ace king. Win a race? Nope. Not this time. That's life. I'll probably raise the 8-7 if it folds to me. On table 1. Jacks on table 2. Auto raise, obviously. Flop mid pair. Doesn't really matter. Betting 100% of the flops against solo. Blind versus blind. Turn 2 pair. I want to try to figure out a way to get all of his money. So I'm going to bet 325 here. Hopefully he calls. Nope. So a lot of people slow down on the turn when they make a hand, and I just think that's totally the wrong mentality to have. You have to try to win as much money as you can from the pot. So that's kind of how I approach everything. And you're not going to have any like reads on these guys other than stack sizes, so you know if they aren't full or above full that they're not a good player pretty much, because I mean, I don't know what they think we're doing here. I just want to make sure that I'm actually live right now. Yeah, I am. Okay. So queen 10 offsuit under the gun raise. That's a pretty easy fold. If I was on the button and it was suited, I might 3-bet a guy like that with hands like that, just because. Ace 8 off. It's good enough to raise in the cutoff. And table 1, king, queen, offsuit. We're going to raise that. These are all standard things. I don't think anybody's learning anything by it. The guy shows me 9-10 like he's something special, I guess. He's able to make that fold from the big blind. Congrats. Deep stack here that raised to 1. I'll peel 1 here and try to flop a set. Hopefully get max value if I do. So, we didn't. I'm done with the hand. Ace queen, probably gonna 3-bet any raise here. So against a 4-bet, I'm probably out, especially in zone, because they're not bluffing, and their entire range just crushes us. Not gonna slow down. Gonna bet like 6, get the rest in on the end, hopefully. That's just a shit card, so he's gonna end up having like queen jack. Watch. What a just bad river card. We should have got paid at all there. He probably, I hope he had a set. Let's see. Not quite sure how to look up hand histories here. So I'm trying to pull it up on another screen. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. Doesn't matter. So these 5s, he min re-raised me. It's pretty weak, but I don't really have a hand to take a lot of heat. And see what happens now. Ace 10 suited. Gonna 3-bet the guy. So I feel like this guy either has a huge hand or not much at all. So we'll make it 325 and see what he does. And we'll just fold to a raise, obviously. But I mean, if he has like anything below pocket 10s, he's folding. Hey, he might even fold kings or queens. Yeah, he's got a monster. So king 6 suited. Might throw a raise in here. So a lot of these hands you're just gonna win just by being aggressive, and like that guy auto checks. So he may have ace rag. Would have been nice to have turned a draw there. I'm gonna actually give the hand up, I think. There's a 6. Interesting. Yeah, ace 10. I don't think he was gonna fold to a bet at any point. I could have probably got. He didn't have a club. I probably could have got him off it. I don't know. Hmm. 3-betting this guy. We'll see what happens. I don't know what I'm gonna do if he pushes. So I'm gonna bet this, and we're gonna have to call any push. But fuck it. I'll just go all in. Yeah. What? Give me a break. That would have been nice to fade that. Okay, dry flop, just gonna bet. Probably just keep firing because there's no reason to think we don't have the best hand. Alright, top pair and a flush draw. Let's go. Check raise would be pretty sweet here. Huh. So, this guy probably doesn't have a very good holding. Or, well, no, because I think he would have raised if he had a set. So, we'll just try to keep getting value here. See what happens. If he had threes or fours and he flopped a set with the flush draw out there, I think that he's probably raising that flop almost every time. So if he did have threes or fours, now he's full, but we also have the flush, so that's something. Well, we'll just call. King, deuce. Nothing we can do about that. Except get more chips. If I get this guy to fold, I think I'll get the other two. And I didn't. Well, now we gotta play it like we got a hand. So, let's see what happens. That was fortunate. Alright, two pair, blind versus blind. On table two. Gonna keep betting it. I have to listen to the stream of this, but the furnace just turned off. I'm curious if you could hear it in the microphone, because I thought I could hear it. I'm not quite sure. Alright, flopped a set. Just gonna keep betting it. See what this guy does. There we go. Okay, Jack 10 got there, but we're still gonna bet. Because we gotta get value for our hand against draws that are still drawing, or just pairs, two pair, maybe he made two pair now. Nice flop. This is about the only time I'll ever slow play something, is when I call out of the big blind in a multi-way pot. Um, I'm gonna raise them though. See what happens. So if he has an overpair, he doesn't want to fold it, you know. But I don't like to give guys free shots at things. Alright, I will 4-bet this guy on table 2. And I'll call it all in if he pushes. That's just the fact of the matter on online poker. Or how I used to perceive everything. So I'll make A25 and call push. And it's all going in on the flop. Any flop, it's going in. Alright, flop top set. Gotta bet it, just like normal. Guy has no money. It's bad. So. King, queen, table 2. Automatic raise. This is a little tough against a middling stack. Probably call, I guess. See what happens. Alright, we're not folding now. So we're gonna check raise all in. And just hopefully we run it out. Hand plays itself. He has a big hand. Good for him. If not, maybe we win it. And we lose. Damn. I didn't get the reload in, so I'm gonna fold that. I would have raised the 6-7 suited, but I didn't have the reload on yet, so drawing for less money, it's not worth it. I'll flat this guy, see how the flop texture is, and go from there. I'm gonna bet like I have an ace. Bet one more time. See if we can win a pot. If not, I'm done with it. Alright, flush draw here. This guy probably has an ace. He does, of course. Getting shellacked today. But I mean, look, that guy had ace queen. He played the hand like a total just passive nit. Raise the flop, raise pre-flop, checks to me, and calls down. That's why you got to bet these guys, because just, you know, if he didn't have any part of that, obviously we had threes, but who cares? Who cares what our hand was? He's gonna fold such a wide range of hands that are already way ahead of you, but he doesn't. He just assumes the flop hit you because you bet, or he doesn't want to take any heat. Like, guys raise. It's weird. They raise the hand pre-flop, hoping that you'll check it down for some reason to showdown, and I don't know. I just don't understand it. It's like a large majority of the poker community plays that way. We'll raise this one up. Table 2. It's like limping anywhere. You gotta punish those guys. So, assuming he didn't flop a set, he'll probably call one. This is where you can hopefully beat a lot of these guys. You know, if he just has like ace 10, ace jack, ace whatever. Jack 10, same hand as me, king 10, king jack. You fold out all those hands, and then like the pairs, the slow pairs that didn't connect there, you got to bet that and get them out of there. I'm gonna go for a squeeze here. See what happens. Make it 3. I'm gonna make $4. Since I got him, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get him out. That's the guy I want. If I wanted the under the gun guy to fold, that he's barely ever gonna call me there, because if he's just flatting him raising, it's so hard for him to call my 3-bet after he's already shown that like he doesn't have a hand that he's really committed to playing by just calling somebody else's raise. So it's hard to put the money in twice like that when you face aggression twice pre-flop, because you know that the hammer's coming post-flop. And like, I mean, I had queen jack suited, which isn't a bad hand, but that doesn't even really matter. I could have had, you know, complete garbage there, and if I got that initial raiser to fold, and the other guy did happen to call, I'm still going to play the hand aggressive, regardless of what the flop texture is, because he's already shown twice that he doesn't have a hand that is worth, you know, raising. He's just calling with the hand, so that's kind of how I look at stuff like that. And we flop top pair here, so bet it. Hits the button. Like my hand here. His calling range is pretty wide on the button there, I'd have to imagine. And most kings that he would call with, we would be beating. Not pretty much all that he would call with, we would be beating. King Jack, I don't think he's calling King Queen. Well, he might, but that's really the only one that I would be worried about. We raise this guy, c-bet. I don't like playing ace rag from the blinds like that. I'll fold that quite a bit. It's a big leak, I think, to play those types of hands from the blinds. Like ace 6 through ace 9 too. Not real big proponent of raising them. Unless you're like on the button or cutoff. You see me dump those a lot, and I don't like to call with them from the blinds against somebody else in position. I just think it's a leak. So this here, I'm gonna 3-bet this guy. Button raise, they're open in a wide range. I mean, it's weird because I'm more apt to 3-bet trash bag hands against them than I am to call. I think it's raise or fold most instances there. I think it's a pretty big leak to call from there. Just going for set value here. So we got flush. 2 hands beat us. He checked. I got a bet. If he raises, I'm folding, but maybe we can get something from, you know, like 8 or a 9 there. I wasn't paying attention. I would have bet that since I raised. It's my fault. I was reading a text message. So we missed quite a few draws today, or just didn't work out for us so far. And then we made a hand and it wasn't good enough too, with a queen 10 versus the king deuce. That one was kind of unfortunate. Oh. So like, if one of these dudes just made like $5, I bet you they would win the pot. 'Cause, I mean, I'm certainly folding if they did, but like if you think about that in the context of the hand, it's such a strong play there because three guys have shown now that they don't have anything really. So it's just such a. I'm gonna bet it, but I don't really like that I'm betting it. But I do want to try to win the pot. And obviously, Jack's gonna call if they have it, but if they don't, it's pretty hard to continue. So 3-bet this guy. It's like that Jack-Jack board, you know. It's hard to continue there knowing that there's that many players in the pot, and the guy who raised first bet. Like he's not even taking the jack into account. Like it's not inconsequential to him. So I mean, even if you just had a pair or whatever there, it's pretty hard to keep going knowing that you're just gonna have to put it in there. And I could actually have a jack, or I'm crushed. You're crushed by me because it looks like I don't care that there's two jacks out there. So you either have a jack or you don't. All right, I like our hand. Continue to apply pressure. I don't know what I would have done if I got a 3-bet there. So usually that means they flopped a set of threes or something like that. Excuse me. I am gonna call this guy. I'm gonna try to keep this pot small. Go for a little value. See what happens. I will squeeze here. Little spots. I'll 3-bet both of them. If I get this guy to fold on 2, I think I'm good. And I did not. So now it's just hopefully can fold out ace, whatever. We did not. So I am gonna bet here because if you think about it, if he had like jacks, tens, eights, nines, and he just flatted me. Now it looks like I hit my ace king, and he's pissed. Fuck. Well, we're gonna see what happens. Oh, that was nice. I'm pretty happy about that. But like I was saying, he didn't he didn't have the commitment to the hand. We're pushing this hand. Fuck these guys. And now I will call this all in here. How about hold one time? God damn. Oh, spade. Spade it. Mm. So that was unlucky. Well, not unlucky. That's a stupid thing to say. It's unfortunate that the other guy flopped a set in front of me because the other guy ended up folding out, and so he bets into me like a total freaking drooler with whatever he had, and then I push the draw with the overs, and that guy happens to have a set, so and we hit our draw, and it fills him up, so that's just life. But going back to that King 10 hand where I 3-bet, like, what could he possibly call me with there on the flop that, like, unless he floated me with ace king there, which is tough because there's a 3-bet pot. I bet the flop, a decent sized bet. And then, like, he calls, like, I'm putting him on a middling type of hand, and then the ace, when that ace hits, it looks like I hit my ace king when I continue it. So then when I bet it all on the end, I mean, it's so hard for him to call there with anything that isn't, ace king, ace queen, which would have meant he would have had to have floated me on the flop the way. That's why you have to bet. That's why you have to raise, guys, because it puts you in the best situation to get the money. So I mean, we're not making our hands, or they're not holding when we do make them. I'm actually gonna 4-bet this guy one time. See what happens. And you have to remember that you're playing zone poker. So if you 4-bet guys, they don't have any player reads and things like that. But they also think that everybody else is playing, straightforward. Because if you 4-bet, I mean, it's aces, kings, queens, maybe ace king, probably not even ace king a lot for most of these players. I think they totally disregard that. They're probably folding ace king, a lot of the time too. So if you can 4-bet in position, I think it is a pretty strong play with a lot of hands. Because he thinks that you're raising on the button just because it folded to you, and you are. But in turn, he then plays a weaker 3-bet hand towards you, and then once you 4-bet, you've like put it back on him to make a decision. And he, again, like I say a lot, they'll path of least resistance is usually the way they go. So I'm gonna fire one, and I'm done with this hand. Would be nice to just win it. Hopefully he has 2 black cards and not an ace. He doesn't. So that's how that goes. Alright, we do have the 8 of hearts, which is not anything great, but So ideally, like assuming that I'm playing with people, I like for my value bets and my, you know, semi bluffs to all look like the same thing. So that way you're obviously not giving anything away. So that's why I kind of try to play everything the same, and that's just aggressive because I just think it sets you up best to win the most money, you know, whether it's winning without showdown um, or actually making a hand and getting paid. Uh, so queens on table one, I did call this guy's raise with the ace. I wish he would have had a little bit more money, but I didn't really want to fold it for the price I was getting. We're gonna 3-bet this guy. Shitty card. Ace king versus queen, so I gotta win one of these fucking flips. Jesus Christ, how about a king? Again, raise under the gun, a caller. If I get this guy to fold, I'm gonna win this hand almost 100% of the time. It's so hard for him to call here, and if he does, he knows he's gonna get it on the flop, and he's gonna play for his whole stack. That's already in his head that he has to play for all of his stack. So he didn't buy in for the max. You know he's bad because of that. It's so hard for him to take any kind of heat because he's already shown that he can't take it. So that's when you just take the money from the guy. Gutter ball here. Oh, I need to reload over here. I'd like to not have to reload because I'm winning, but it's not how it's going today so far. I'm gonna raise this if this guy folds on 2. Flop top 2. See if we can get this guy to put it in. Yeah, he didn't hit any of it. We'll call this guy. Nice. 1-1. Didn't win the big one though. It's okay. Just gotta keep doing the same thing. Don't get frustrated when you're not winning your flips, or you're not winning, you know, your draws and stuff like that. So we're gonna bump this guy up, 310. Now that is interesting. That is an interesting call right there. So I'm very hopeful that this guy has the same hand as me. And I feel like he's just gonna raise me. Nope. Alright. That's interesting. I don't know what kind of hands flatting there. I mean, jacks, nines, eights, maybe eights. I don't know. Ace, queen. That's such a terrible thing to do, though. Flatting there with ace, queen. Out of the small blind. That's rough. That's a rough situation. Usually you just dump that hand. I mean, you get 3-bet and you're in the blind with ace, queen. You really need to reevaluate the player. And in this game, you know, you don't know anything, but you can just look at stack sizes. So if I get 3-bet by a guy who has chips, I'm gonna assume that he's decent at least. So yeah, I don't know what the guy had. I would have liked to have seen it, but I'm glad he folded, obviously. And we flop a set of deuces and can't get any action, so eventually we will. It'll happen. I'm going to 3-bet this guy just because I feel like it. Obviously, I don't think King 6 is good, but I'd rather win the pot without any rake in it. And I didn't want to fold. Just felt like I didn't want to fold. He had 50. He's got to give me respect because I have a decent stack, too. So we're going to 3-bet those jacks to 350. Everybody has money here, so this will be interesting. See what happens. It's a little deeper than normal. I suspect he'll call now as well. Nope. Alright, so I mean, we like our hand. We're going to play it as such. I don't think I would have been able to fold there. Like, if he had queens, kings, aces, you have to think that he's going to 4-bet me there because we're so deep and he doesn't want to let me hit, you know? So, if he raised me there, I would think it's more likely that he had 9s or 10s or even the other 2 pairs of jacks. But, yeah. I couldn't see myself getting off that hand. I'm actually gonna check this hand over here on 2. I'm done with that hand. Alright, raising the king jack. King 9 out of here. We're getting it going a little bit. It's not bad. I am going to just flat here. I don't want to 3-bet against a guy who's deep. Might as well just take this flop. Oh, no, I wish I would have 3-bet. Oh well. But if he bets here, I'm going to raise. It's going to look like I could have, you know, Jack 10 and hearts, 6, 7. Hopefully he bets. I'll 3-bet this guy. Alright. We're going to make a pretty big raise. I got 4-bet here, so we're done with this hand. Just get out. Hopefully he pushes, he has an overpair, and we... Okay. That's okay. He has $28, there's 12 in a pot, I'm going to bet like 10. See if we can get the rest on the end. I mean, if he has 9s, obviously that's big time cooler, but what are you going to do? Or jacks. Just going to let it run down a few. Make it look like I might have had a busted draw, now I ran into a jack or something. Okay, I don't think he has jacks. Wonder what he had. That's why it was nice to get that raise on the flop, because you got to get the money in there when you make your hands, which is why you got to bet when you don't make your hands, because it makes you play bigger pots for when you do make your hands, and you get the most amount of money possible in, because if he's not going to call, but he's going to peel one, that's why you got to bet. That's why you don't check and give these guys free cards, because it's harder, like you're just killing your win rate there, I think. I feel like. Yeah. It's a pretty bad flop for my hand. This is actually one of the rare spots where I'm going to just concede the hand and just, if he bets, good for him. I mean, unless I improved here on the turn and check through, I'm done. But like, it's so coordinated. Flush draws there. You know, my hand can't make a hand out of here other than a pair, which also connects with everything else. So it's just, it's not a very. That's one of the few spots where I won't continuation bet. Okay, ace king on two. Raise both these hands. If either of these two re-raise me, I'm just gonna push in. It's pretty dry flop here. See what happens here. Throw out a feeler guy. Not really a feeler, but I'm trying to win the pot right here. Unless they connect with this, they're folding all their just high card hands for the most part because I raised. So, and it worked. So that's nice. So ace six offsuit is pretty much the most garbage ace hand in the game. I wish somebody would have raised. So I'll bet this now, but I mean, it's just such a shit hand. Okay, so here's an interesting spot. I don't have a very good hand, obviously, but this guy's super deep, so I am gonna call here and see what happens. I'll 3-bet this. Ah, double gutter. I'm gonna bet this. We gotta build a pot. No, I don't know what he's checking here. You know, obviously he didn't connect, or he's not committed to the hand now. Okay, so now we got middle pair. Oh shit, I lost track of the hand. That's too bad. I'm gonna have to call one now because I don't know. King queen, good for him. Paid the least amount of money possible to him. Kings. That's I was paying attention to the second table too much there. Man, I can't win a flip for save my life. Yeah, that a baby. A little run good. That's all I have to do is just continue to bitch about not winning a flip, and they'll eventually let me win one. I'm actually due to win like 3 or 4 more in a row. So, we'll see. See if that happens. I think I might actually be up for the session now. No, I think I'm down a little still. It's close. Let's win a couple more lines. Probably play for another half hour or so. I'll 3-bet this guy. 60 under the gun. It's just such a shit raise. Like he had to type that in too, or he hit pot and backspace or mouse wheel backwards because 85 is the standard raise, and I'm at 4-bet this guy. Fuck him. Yeah. So like if you hit pot, it puts the mouse at 85. Or the bet amount at 85. So like here, if I hit pot, it's 85. If I mouse wheel back, it makes it 60. That's such like a conscious thing. It's weird. I don't. But if you just mouse wheel forward, you make it 75. I just feel like guys who make it 60, I don't know. Like they're trying to put less money in intentionally so they can fold almost is what it feels like to me. Like I'm gonna lose the least amount by raising the least amount. It's like a meta game thing that I think about. Oh, $154. Damn. God damn. Alright, so we're definitely calling here. Hopefully we can flop a hand against this dude. 5 would be nice. I'll probably peel 1 here for sure. 5 of diamonds would be sweet. Oh, he even bet small. That's so nice. So there's an argument for raising here, I think, but I'm just going to call. Now we've had the flush draw too, so we're definitely in this hand. But I'm not going to. The fact that that guy called does kind of make me a little sketchy about what's going on here. I suspect he doesn't. Number player 2 doesn't have a very, very big hand because of his small bet on the flop, but we shall see. I could raise here. This is an interesting spot. Let's just see what happens. Totally whiffed it. Man. Now I'm just going to give him the pot. He's going to win with like tens. Maybe in queens. I don't know. We'll never know. I'll 3-bet this dude. Man, I would have liked to have hit that hand. That would have been nice. But I set myself up to lose, really. I didn't do anything aggressive. I did get 3-bet. I assume he's at least decent. He had, 6 buy-ins. No. Yeah, 7 buy-ins. So he's killing it. Right, cold 3-bet by the big blind. You gotta dump it. Just bet once here. Try to win it. Yeah. Fives. That's sweet. This sucks. I don't want to get called by ace high. I just don't. Yeah, he was never folding there. It's good. All right, flopped. Flopped the 10, trip tens. Just want to try to get this guy's money. I flopped top pair against the dope stack. Yeah, I might have to play this hand for stacks. I can tell. I don't. There's no way I could fold after I bet this turn. And if he has a 5, he's a piece of shit, pretty much, you know. But huh. I wish I wanted to call that a hand. That's just bad play. Glad I won it, but not good. Alright. Ace queen. Ace 10 suited. I was told I need to talk more, but there's just nothing to talk about. This Ignition poker site's weird because there's like a delay in some of the clicks sometimes. Sometimes I'll hit fold on things and it cycles through a guy still, and then it makes me do it again. It's kind of like just right there. I had hit fold before that guy folded, and then it didn't like go through. I'm gonna 3-bet this guy. If you make it 60, you're getting 3-bet. That's new rule. Rest of the day. I don't care what my hand is. I'm making it. I'm 3-betting you. You're just asking for a reason to fold, and I'm gonna give it to you. Alright. No action on our hands. Except when they make one. Seems like. If I can get one of these. Nah, never mind. Nobody has any money. Fuck that. I just don't like playing that hand. I know it's not a bad hand, but the guy had no money, and it's just not. When you like work it out, it's not value. There's no value in it. Alright, I'll bet this turn. I'm calling him, obviously. Wow. Queens. Mm. I don't know what I could have done different there. I knew that guy had a good hand in the small blind. I mean, you don't just cold call it all in like that. Yeah. I would have hate to have folded there and they both had ace king or something like that, though. It's a pretty wet flop, obviously. Hopefully he has a under pair or ace rag. Yeah. Still thinking about that nines hand. The guy didn't have money, though. The other guy didn't have money, too, so. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done different. I just can't see any other way that I could have played it. I don't like just calling because then I have to fold on the flop when the ace hits and all that shit, so. I like to see all 5 cards there. Take all the guesswork out. Make him call. I'd say he would have folded. Excuse me. He would have folded his queens probably on that flop. But I don't win anyway. I just lose less by playing it passive up front, which I don't like to do. So that's how it goes sometimes. I'm actually gonna take a flop here. Man, it's not flopping hands. That's a peculiar bet. Let's see what he does on the turn. Okay, now we're definitely in a better spot. If he checks, we're bet this thing. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't have ace king or aces. Let's go all in. Have ace queen. Nice. I don't want to play fucking craps. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. I wish I knew how to look at the hand histories. I just don't know how to do it. Can you highlight them? No, you can't. Oh well. Who knows what he had? I assume he had an ace or a king, queen, king, jack type hand. We got him. We got the son of a bitch. I'd really like this $18 guy to raise. Just push it all in. Maybe this guy will do it. No. Oh, what a shit flop for kings. Oh my gosh. Okay. See what happens. So I get quick called by him, which is very telling to me. And I get called by the other guy too. I mean, oh my, I don't know. He could be on a hard draw. That guy could be. No, I just don't think that. I'm gonna check, but I don't think Jack 10 just flats if it's him. So, all right, I'm gonna bet once for value. I'm gonna bet for value. Probably gonna fold to a raise. Yeah, I should have bet that turn, but I got caught up in the moment of thinking and the time. I didn't have enough time to do what I wanted to. So Jack 10 is raising that flop every time. A set's raising that flop every time. 10 9 they could have had something like that. Tens. I needed to bet the turn too. Because any hand that connected on that flop's going to raise the flop when I bet because they're afraid of the draws that are out there. And a made hand is afraid of the flush draw. So that was bad on me. I should have bet the turn. They didn't do anything to tell me otherwise. Ah, shit. The guy made it 60. Damn it. Went against my rule. I'm getting some hands here, so that's nice. A flush hand was very fortunate. That was good. Oh, look at this. Oh my. I'm just gonna make it 5. No, make it 450. I mean, I'm not folding, obviously, but it would have been really sick if the big blind just pushed all in, you know? This is a bad flop. It's so hard to get value from anything there. I mean, just kind of whatever. I messed up. I wasn't paying attention over here. I needed a bet over there, and I didn't do it. I don't know how I used to do 20 tables. But I used to just stack them on top of each other. And I would only be able to look at the table that was up. And the way that this ignition site is, you can't do that the same way. So it doesn't work. Oh, sweet, made a straight. So we have to bet this flop since we took the lead pre-flop. What a gross river. I should have bet this river and then folded to a raise. I didn't. Yeah, I'm not thinking like I need to. Aces. Oh, it's a big stack. All right, let's do it, fella. He's calling with like his entire range here, so his entire opening range because we're both so deep. It would be great if somebody would have raised. Maybe he'll raise. That would be fun. Wow, I can't believe that guy folded with that much money. Like, how do you fold there? Okay, so there's 8 in the pot. I'm gonna bet 6. If he calls, then that'll be a nice pot size bet to put them all in. Nice. Probably has a set. Oh well, that's how it goes. Well, hasn't called yet, so that's good. Ha! We needed that guy to have kings. That would have been nice. That was good. I think we're in a pretty good spot now. I think we're actually up. Should be. Oh, flopped a straight. That's fun. Just put it in. Fuck this guy. If he's got it, he's got it. I don't really care. Ha! What a man. People are weird. I don't understand that. Like, what could you have possibly had there to bet through? Like, I mean, I don't know. What are you doing? Why you just uninstall the game if you're gonna play like that? All right, we are three betting this big. I want to make it enough. Let's see, 375. Yeah. So I want this guy to push all in. That way I can get him out, but... Oh, that's good too. I'll take that. That's fine. I'm gonna bet a little... I'm gonna make the same bet. No, I'm gonna go all in. Ah, damn. If that guy was on a draw, would have been good to get called there. This game, no, I thought it froze up on me again. That was weird when I first started playing. That one table was froze. I don't understand that. I don't know what happened. I wonder if my call of that raise took it away from my account. This is an interesting flop. I'm gonna bet because I think it's very weird that he checked. So, see what happens. Okay. So now a 9 or a king, because this is straight. Obviously, we prefer the king. It's a really, really wet board now, but I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I feel like I want to bet, but I don't want to just donk off chips here. Yeah. All right. You got it. Yeah, I got it. So this is sometimes I let these guys bluff on the end here, but I think I'm just gonna put it in. If he has king 10, that's cool. You know, ace king obviously beats 2, but like if he had queen jack there, you know, jack 9. Sometimes it's good to let them bluff on the end if you feel like you can really, really pigeonhole a guy down to a hand like that. But I also want to get value from it. You know, a paired king. Queens, even. I don't think he had queens the way the hand played out, but it's almost always better to just bet the whole way, just because. But I see that happen sometimes, and sometimes it works. What I do see is where, you know, you flop a pair or whatever, and bet the hand, and then you check the turn to value bet the end, knowing that you're only going to get value from certain ranges, you know, where they're more comfortable calling a river bet because the hand's over because they're big showdown monkeys, but they won't call that same bet on the turn, knowing that they're going to have to call one on the end as well. They're looking for an out to not pay, basically, and that's it. So I have seen instances where that kind of makes sense. Yeah, I'm annoyed I even called with this hand. I'm not watching any more of it. Just leaving. A bigger fish to fry. Your fucking min-raise pot. I'm gonna flat this guy. I think if you are you lose more money out of the small blind than you lose anywhere else. Like, just you play, it's so hard to play hands from the small blind because you get fucking flops like this. This guy sneezes on the pot, we're both gonna fold. Yeah, let's see what happens. Just try to win it once. That sucks. What a shithead. Yeah, so like, you know, I had to play the hand so poorly from the small blind because I called. I didn't want to re-raise him because he had like one of those weird 50 big blind type stacks. It's just hard to play that hand. And the flop's 3/8. It's just, I don't know. It's just not, nothing about the hand was good. The way I played it or the way it played out. It's just pretty poor play in general there. I should have bet this at somewhere. I'm looking at my phone, not really doing what I should be doing. That's kind of what I'm talking about, though. Like, if you had a 4 or you made a 5 on the end or something, or just had ace high, they'll call that river bet because they know that's it. The hand's over. So they only have to get away for one bet. They get away with a hand for just paying one bet. So that's why you should value bet a lot of your holdings on the end, even if it's not, you know, massive. Like, most guys don't bet the end unless they have it, you know, in quotes. So they only bet on the end when they have like massive holdings. But they'll call on the end that entire range that they check the end with. You know, obviously nothing hands they're folding to begin with, but like where they check behind in spots where you if you would just bet, like you're missing out on a lot of value there on the end by not betting the river. 3-bet this guy. Alright, not a bad flop. Sorta. I mean, we'll get an ace to fold for sure, I would think. I like to have a redraw to the nuts, whether it's just a gut shot, but having the overs on the overcard on the jack. It's nice. You spike that 9, you're in real good shape because your hand's masked and you've bet it the whole way. So any hand that he plays back at you against, if that 9 were to hit, he's not putting you on Queen 10 because he thinks that you're, you know, something different than that. Because you've like backed your way into it through aggression into making a hand. I'll play mess with this guy, see what happens. Probably play for another 5 minutes. Call it a day. Been playing for about an hour and a half. Not bad. Not bad little run. Started out pretty rough, but I can only think of a few hands where I played, I guess, poor. Like the 9s hand, I'm still kind of. I actually have to rewatch that and see what I think about it and talk about it at the beginning. Could actually maybe pull up the hands and broadcast that and talk about them too. That's something that I could actually do. It might be worthwhile. I'm gonna squeeze here. Ah, shit. I shouldn't have done that. The guy only had $7. Oh well, now we gotta play it. He had queens. Oh well. I mean, it's probably time to be done. I wasn't paying attention. Let's see if I can flop it. So now here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So you call out of the big blind with Jack 10. You have no idea where you're at in the hand. You just know that this guy bet, pre-flop. So now you've given him the hammer. You don't know what to do with your hands. Now you're forced to just call. Now, obviously, it's very nice that we turned the trips, but now it's hard to get value here. So what's he going to call with? He's not going to call you with anything. He might call in the end now because it's one bet going with that theory. So bet 325 and see what happens. But like, much better to just fold or 3-bet that hand from the blind. In my opinion, you're going to come out positive in the end. Like, I had to make trips there in order to feel good about my hand. And it's just, I don't know. It's just not a good position to put yourself in. I'm going to fold. I thought about raising that guy, but because his raise like smelled like a guy who couldn't take the heat or a monster. It's just weird. I'm gonna call one time here. See what happens on the end. I think I'm gonna call bet on the end too. Ah, 2-pair and turn to flush draw. All right, I'm sitting out on the blind. I'm not playing well. I'm just getting sloppy. Overall, though, I think it was pretty good session. Some good hands to talk about, and if anybody does watch this, if you write in the chat like what you maybe had questions about or want to know more about why I did what I did, if I can explain it, maybe I'll answer them or try to look through the video and give an explanation. Maybe pull it up in the next before I start playing the next stream and kind of just talk about those hands, playing them back through. All right, I'm gonna 4-bet this guy. It's gonna be a good way to end. Just gonna make it 10. I'm calling a push. Maybe. Jack? Damn it. That sucks. Damn it. That was rough. Should have quit 2 hands before. Oh well. Alright. So that, I don't know. I don't know if I should have pushed there. I don't think I could get him to fold jacks or queens. Yeah. It's hard to say. No, I don't think I could have. I should have just gave up on that. No. I don't know. So I should... Let's see. I don't have the program. I should download the poker odds thing on my laptop so I can talk about it. Maybe I'll do that. So there's $20 in the pot. He had 24 left. There's no reason to bet anything there other than all in if you're going to bet. And I just don't want to give up the hand. Like, if he had the same hand as me too, which is possible, but not as likely. I would like to get him to fold that out. I don't think he calls with ace queen ever. Yeah, sucks. Oh well. What are you gonna do? All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.